Buffer, 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 buffer. My phone is still buffering. Wondered why I'm squinting at things. I don't have my glasses on. Ay, yay. Ooh. Glasses are dusty. Oops. Okay, it's no longer buffering. So I believe I'm live now. My apologies for not having the thumbnail up earlier. It's been a busy day ever since Mike got home from the pilgrimage and encampment for Boy Scouts. They used to have it at Valley Forge Park, and then it became a national park, but an act of Congress still allowed them to be there, but the ranger they currently have just doesn't like kids organizations. doesn't want Boy Scouts or Girl Scouts there. So they had it somewhere up in Fort Washington. I'm not 100% sure where. But be that as it may. Oh, I'm hoping the cats will cling to him tonight. If not, I got the cat keep away. Now, I'm going to be a little punchy because I've been up since 7:30 this morning. And actually, I don't even have my YouTube up. And let's see if I'm actually live. When this old laptop, one of the parts for the laptop my friends have for me did not come in yet. So I don't have the newer laptop yet. I still have the old laptop, which we all know is like molasses in January. I love these. I don't drink them often. Usually just when, oh, the thumbnail looks good. You can see the rabbits and the bluebird. That bluebird is one of the reasons I had a late start tonight. All right, let me switch and get into the proper account so that I am in my Tosh account. Oh, tomorrow. Okay. Maria, California Thrifter is going to have a live sale with a guest at 1 p.m. tomorrow. Now, she's in northern Southern California. How's that work? But that's a weird thumbnail because it must be a really up-close picture of her cat. Oh, my goodness. And so she'll have one tomorrow. Let's see. I'm looking to see if Lisa from Flippin' Crazy has anything on the 11th. Trisha from Sandy and Otto has one at 11:30 a.m., which is usually Eastern time. But I know Lisa from Flippin' Crazy. Can we all just say some prayers for her that she does not lose another cat? That poor darling has lost another kitty. And honestly, my heart is seriously breaking for her. It's just so heartbreaking. That's third or fourth one now. I mean, I get it. Some of her kitties are older, but still. There we go. Come on. I'll give myself a thumbs up. Hi, Linda. And turn on to live chat. Well, so Mike got back and suddenly handed me all this paperwork that he'd forgotten to give me from Wednesday night when I was still stuck at the farm. because there's a stream at the property line for part of the farm. Most of it's on their property, but as it gets to the street, it's more on straddling the line, and it flooded, which meant it flooded the street, which also meant since their driveway is literally right next to it, it flooded the end of their driveway. The house is way up on the hill. I couldn't get out. So Mike had to handle everything that I would have been there to pick up and do for the scouts on Wednesday night. So he forgot and had it with him on the trip. And so they finished some more stuff on the trip with a few of the boys. And so he handed me all that today. So I was trying to get that done. But the real reason I really was running late is this little sucker. Isn't he adorable? Isn't he this lovely shade of blue? Let me tell you that this little bluebird, he's a gorgeous piece of Lefton. This little sucker took me an hour to clean it. He was so dark, he looked like he'd been in an oil slick. The only thing you could see was the color of the chest. And there was like, this was all black all around the ridge. You couldn't tell where his feet were. And you couldn't I mean, all this was covered. He must have been in somebody's kitchen because he was so full of grease and dirt. And I have a soft toothbrush, like a baby's toothbrush, and it's very hard to clean bisque because sometimes the colors come off. Now on him, the only spots I had some trouble, and I think some of the color came off, is down along here, because to get into all those grooves, it just was a nightmare. And I did pick him up even though he is missing one little petal there, but it kind of actually looks like the flower just, in nature, they don't always have all their petals, but he's an older Lefton, and I just thought he was so cute. And so I actually rescued him from a Goodwill because I was like, he's so dirty. He needed to be saved. But I didn't expect it to take me an hour. And I gotta adjust this. I really had to finally just take straight up dish soap on that toothbrush, just straight directly onto him. And that finally started cutting through it. And I was so careful because I didn't want to take any color off of his wings. And I did a good job there. He didn't lose any color off of the blue or off the orange, just some of mostly on the back here, but some of the green for the grass is kind of gone. But he looked like a little blackbird. And I knew I'd seen these before, and I knew Lefton, and you could see it said on the bottom, you couldn't see that it said Eastern Bluebird, but you could see that it said Bluebird. And I kept looking at this poor thing in the Goodwill going, there is in no way that thing looks like a bluebird. I thought, well, I do need to save it. I was in there looking for sweaters and found that. But I didn't expect it to take me an entire hour to clean that thing. Because you got to go slow. It's a bisque piece. It doesn't have a shiny finish, so you got to be careful. And then it just wouldn't come off. It was driving me nuts. But the monster is because I've been up since 7:30 this morning. We know Nancy's not an early bird, but Nancy started to get a migraine last night. So at 9:30, I went to bed. I woke up at 4 in a room that just felt incredibly hot. But then I realized that all the cats are in with me because Michael wasn't home. So I have, 5 little furry heaters in the room. And so that made it a bit hot in there. And then, so the alarm was set for 7:30. So I went back to sleep at 4 and up before the sun came up. No fun there. Oh, and then today has been pulling stuff and cleaning stuff and trying to get my own laundry done and dishes done. And Oh my goodness. Bless Mike's heart though. He came home and he cooked dinner. It's like, you have a sale tonight, and I see you've got all this stuff pulled out on my bed, which you need to get it out of here. So I'll cook dinner. You clear my bed. Because I had a box of stuff that was like scattered all across to see what it was and what I really wanted to take out of it. Some stuff has to wait because I have to figure out how to get the packing tape off of it without destroying it. Don't you just hate when you want to buy something and it's got beautiful gold foiling on the glass and they've put the packing tape right over top of it? And if you go to just pull it off, it's going to take that right off. It's going to rip it right off. And it's packing tape and it's really on there. And soaking it hasn't done the trick. Soaking it in warm water just not done the trick. So I had dried it off and just kind of packed it away. I have to find or buy some more Undo, which is the stuff Misty from Thrifter Junker Vintage Hunter had told me about, and it does work great at getting stickers and tape off, even off of, it's made to take it off of paper and not damage the paper. Man, it works great on that. But I'm going to end up having to use some, because if I'm right, this green glass, I haven't tested it to see if it glows yet, but if I'm right, from the pattern that's on it, I think it's a piece of Tiffin glass, which would be nice. Uh-oh. Where are my number cards? Which little juvenile delinquent do you have out there? Oh, yeah, that juvenile delinquent. Aragorn. Doesn't know what to do because Mommy doesn't want me near her right now. Mommy wants to know where her little number cards went. I usually stick them on the shelf right there. They are not there. And, there they are. I have to see if these are worth putting on eBay. I found 2 packs of these. Harry Potter Quidditch Cup booster packs. I've got 2 of them. Michael was briefly into that. Not for very long. And I guess I had tucked them away as stocking stuffers, but never used them then. So, okay. Cats knocked these over. And they're not all facing the same way. There we go. So, I mean, it's so frustrating because when I was out in Lancaster County, out around Chambersburg, there was a Goodwill out there, and they used painter's tape on everything that was taped together. It was painter's tape, not your typical packing tape. And it was great because you could get that off easily. But they would have to probably just buy that extra, or use masking tape. You know, that also would be easier and cheaper than packing tape usually. Okay, I have my numbers already. That should be in the box. I have some Southwestern style things tonight. So if you saw me do the unboxing on the front porch when it was so cold out, there were some things that were not Christmas that I have a few of them here. And I have some bunnies, kind of early for Easter. I don't actually know when Easter is this year. I have not seen Warren. Why? Is there something wrong? I have not heard from him lately. Ugh, Yahoo forced me to upgrade to the new thing. I hate it. On this laptop, it's hard to get. They put the name of the email at the bottom, and it makes it harder to get to. No, I want to be in my NBK email because it's below the level of my screen. Meow. What are you doing? You're not going outside. Aragorn. This little juvenile delinquent likes to tear up paper. What are you doing? Okay, he just chased somebody up the steps, into Mike's room, back towards the desk, over this way, and then must have hopped on the bed because then I couldn't hear feet anymore. Wow. Wow, that was something. I hope I'm in the right email. I honest to God cannot see it because I can't get this bottom border thing is like an inch thick and I can't make it disappear. And it's blocking the view of the mail. Can I make this disappear? Calendar, notepad. No, I really hate it because it narrows the size of the mail down to like this wide. I'm not kidding. I hate it. What is that? Literally 6 inches wide. I hate it. I hate it. So, yeah, now I had talked to Warren the last sale that I had, but that was a while ago. January? Because February I kept getting sick. So the last time I had emails back and forth with him was the end of February. No, the end of January, maybe the first or second day of February. It was somewhere right in there. I think it was the first or second day of February. Was the last time we sent emails back and forth. I've noticed he's done that as he's been disappearing a little bit lately, and I'm worried because he takes care of his mom. And I used to do the same thing. And so I sometimes worry because my friends used to know that if I disappeared, it was usually because I had something happen to take care of mom. So I don't know. I just have 8 people tonight for the live sale. It is what it is. It was usually if I do this, I have everything up a lot sooner. It's just been a busier week than intended and definitely a busier weekend. I kind of didn't like yesterday. I should have pulled everything then and done a video, but I had both of them out of the house for a brief bit. So I got into Gary's room and just started Windexing and wiping everything I could get to. I wiped off and wiped down and then had to come out and take all my clothes off because they're all reeked of cigarettes. And I went in there with a mask on because the cigarettes just make it hard for me to breathe. And I think I went through, I only had like 4 rags in the house from old t-shirts. And I used all 4 of them and they were cruddy from dust and cigarette smoke. And then I vacuumed his room. I vacuumed all the hallways. And since he was gone for a while, I also did some plastering, some little plaster repairs. But my mistake is that once I did Gary's room and I went, I still have plaster left over. I started plastering other spots throughout the house. By the time I was actually out of plaster, because I had way more than I thought, I had fixed some holes in, I didn't get to the powder room. Because here, when I took the old medicine chest off the wall, it wasn't an inset one. There were all these holes. We always wonder why the powder room was so cold. There's all these holes in the wall that were behind the medicine chest. And so I didn't get to those yet, but I did where the light had fallen out of the wall in Gary's room. So that's now back up on the wall, the way it should be. I fixed the towel rack in the front bathroom because over time the screws get loose in the old plaster. So I took that all down, replastered the hole, reset the screws and everything. I did 2 spots in the wall down in the kitchen where a crack had come down in the corner. So I had to do the entire corner thing. I basically was bouncing all over doing all these little jobs. And then I'd like, okay, what do I have left? How much? Okay, where can I get to next? There, I can actually get to it. So I literally was bouncing from 3rd floor to 1st, patching up all these little things that I didn't tackle the big ones because I knew that wasn't going to be enough. So it was a lot of up and down and busy, and I'm glad I got all my laundry done and the bed changed and everything yesterday when nobody was around. So, we've got 9. We've got 9. Good. So I'm going to have a live sale tonight. I don't have too many things, but I have some interesting ones. I've even got, 1, 2, 3 things that are kind of Southwest looking, if anyone is into that. The one is kind of cool. It comes with its own cookie cutter. It's a cookie plate. So I don't do just in case, because usually I'm too brain fogged. I found my ruler and that quick lost my ruler? Really? Or did I just bury my ruler? I just buried my ruler underneath the plates. Oh, just punchy. All right. I got to make my little lines here because this is how I keep track. I put little lines on the page, and there'll be a spot for if there is a cost of goods, like that little bluebird. Most of this stuff is stuff either given to me, helping friends do a clean out, or stuff from my own cleaning out. So, but I will put whatever the number is that something is on here, and if there is a cost of good. But then I also write down who it gets, what it is, who it goes to, and for how much. If you see something that you feel should be a offer up, then you can say offer up in the chat, and then we'll make that item an offer up. And so let's start with, this is going to tip over if I don't get this out of the way first, because there's things behind it. This is the cookie plate I was talking about. Cool Southwestern fabric on there. And that's how they used to do these. I made smaller ones of these years ago, and this one is really nicely done. They take a piece of fabric on the back of a clear plate. Now, they've also painted and sealed this in, which is probably good because I did the same thing, and 2 of mine that I didn't paint the backs ended up with, like, you could see, I don't know if moisture got to the glue that you used to put the fabric on, but you could suddenly see where the streaks of white, where the glue was, because the moisture got into it. So you definitely need to paint the backs. But the cool part that they did, not only does it have cookie plate, handcrafted in Pennsylvania, to clean up, wipe with damp cloth, do not immerse in water. Has an email for someone. They even give you a recipe for cutout cookies. But it comes with, can you see with the ribbon in the way? It's a cactus. It comes with its own cookie cutter. So that's kind of cool. I thought that was very cool. But I'm not into Southwestern stuff. And this is a nice size. This is a good big one. So you could use this as the gift you give somebody, or use it yourself. Definitely a really nice handcrafted item. And this is going to be, and that's a lot of work too. I do know because I've done them. So this is going to be $8. It is that never been used, brand new. $8, number 86. $8, number 86. You know, it's funny. I thought, oh, I'll do this on Sunday because there haven't really been too many sales on Sunday evening. And then I look, and tonight there's like 7 other people. Oh. Now, this one. Now, this one, I did not get a chance to because I was fighting with that bird so much. And actually, I'm gonna lower this to $5 because it looks like, can you see the real faint pinky color there? I think that's because of the wax inside, maybe, because it was sold as Enchanted Lights. You know, it was sold as a candle holder, but you can see it's got a signature on there. This is hand painted. It's a lovely piece. Now, I did not get a chance to get the wax out of there. I got part of the center out, but that bird took so long that I did not get all of this out yet, which I will do. It will come wax free. It is, it's 4 inches wide, and it's about 2 1/4 high, but it's really cool looking. And I love that it's hand painted and then actually has a signature on it. But you can use it for anything you want. If you want to put a cactus plant in there, you could, or just have it as a nice little decoration. And I promise you, it will come wax free. Candle will not be in there, but it is a lovely piece of pottery nonetheless. So this is $5 and is number 26. $5, number 26. Hi, Val. That's all right. I was almost late myself because I was fighting with a bluebird. I'll stick that there. So, and it's a busy night, and I didn't get the thumbnail up, but that's okay. That's my own doing. So we only have a few people. We only have a few people, and we're gonna do this anyway. One thing's for certain. I've felt, knock on wood, please knock on wood. I've felt better in the last 3 days than I have in since before the beginning of this year. So I don't want to jinx it or anything, but I'm back to having my salads for lunch, which is good. I had a shot in my knee and a little laparoscopic thing where they took out a little piece of bone. So the knee has healed beautifully. So I'm back to that. There's less stress now that I know I don't have hernias, and knowing what the pain is is simply the fact that the muscles aren't attached completely. So now that I know that, that's just a whole different way of moving and having to worry about stuff. So, um, so yeah, I so I guess some of the stress is gone, but also too is I was away for instead of being Monday, Tuesday, and the morning of Wednesday, I got to stay an extra day, and it seems to have I seem to have greatly detoxed with that extra day. Oh my goodness, it's almost like summer camp. And Leslie, bless her heart, she won't let me help with any of the cooking. She knows I hate cooking. She won't let me do the cleanup. She says, I have a dishwasher. You don't need to do that. So it is kind of like summer camp. I don't have to cook. I don't have to clean. I help out with the animals. And I didn't have my hiking boots. We had to let my knee heal. So next time I go, I got to take my hiking boots because next time I get to fuss with the horses and deal with the roosters. Now, mind you, ugly little, the one rooster, there's a, there's some movie, I think it's Four Weddings and a Funeral, where Rowan Atkinson is the vicar and he accidentally baptizes some baby as ugly little bastard Jones. And there was one rooster that I hated with a passion because he hated me. I don't know why, but apparently he hated everybody. And he was the smallest rooster in there. He was a godforsaken looking silky. He should have looked pretty with little puffy feather. No, he was the scrawniest looking thing. He looked like he'd been half plucked. And he was the meanest rooster in that pen. And he was the tiniest one. And man, he was evil. Leslie kept a wiffle ball bat by the door of the pen just to make sure he stayed away from her. He would attack everything and everybody. But I don't have to deal with him anymore because he has passed away to old age. So, but I will have to deal with chickens and ducks. We're okay with them. I know what to feed. I know what to feed them now, and horses I've got to figure out next time I go out. Okay, here is, and I did not even look it up yet, partly because I can't read it. It has two markings on the back, which I cannot read. I can't tell what that says. SHI something K. It's maybe an R or maybe it's an E. And then something that starts with a K, L, and I have no idea after that. I can't read it. But it's a beautiful pottery piece. It's stoneware. It's a really nice piece of stoneware. Nice oval bowl. And that's the glazing inside. But I could not quite figure out what on earth that name is. Is it SH or SW? Nope. Try W. No, not swirl. Don't you love it when it just decides to... Oh, what is this? You haven't... No, you don't have an image of any mark? No, you have the remains of where a label was, and that's a piece of enamelware. Darn. Let's see. Nope. I cannot figure that out. What are you doing back there? Why did I hear glass moving? Yeah, I got nothing. I got nothing. I'm trying. I'm trying, but I got nothing. So it's a signed piece. Hang on. Hey! Oh, ooh. Ow, my hip. What are you doing? Hey! I see you in the window. Who's the miscreant? Who's over there? Aragorn? Arwen? I wish you guys could see this. Stop banging on the glass of the window, Gimli. Your dad will be in a minute. So Gimli's being a good boy. He's sitting on the windowsill. But somebody's over to the side, and it sounds like they're knocking stuff off the bookcase back there, which is not a good thing. Oh, the gang of 5. April 1st, they all turned 3 years old. Still like having a bunch of toddlers. He was pushing on the glass trying to get to you. I heard you, and then he's like pushing and pushing on the glass. Okay, so it's 9 inches crossed. Hey, you've got the really good eyesight. See if you can read that. Oh, thank you. He's pretty good at deciphering these things. I thought it might be SWIRK, and then I cannot figure out that impressed thing after it.
Well, that's probably either SWI like RK or the other thing is like K something CKPAT.
Yeah, I mean, I almost thought it said Kit Kat, but that ain't it. Yeah, you never know what I'm going to have here. It's a nice piece of like stoneware kind of pottery, though. So, well, if even he can't read it, we're toast. Oh, my goodness. So, 9 inches by what? 7. And then this is the harder one. 2 inches deep. That does not seem right. Oh, yeah. 2 inches deep. So, he brought me presents. Chocolate. Dark chocolate. Oh, 92%. This one's 86. But really dark chocolate. And so, this is stoneware bowl. Signed piece. This one is $8. $8, number 81. That is a nice piece. I do like the fact that they did something. It looks like they pressed a cloth against it because there is like a texture there is like a really fine texture on front and back. And it honestly looks like it had been from a piece of material. So, yeah, you like dark chocolate too, Linda? I love dark chocolate. And dark chocolate is definitely a good stress reliever some days around here. Oh, don't be stuck. Who is it? What's the matter? I heard that noise. That's the I can't figure this out noise. Kitty? Arwen or Aragorn? Now they're not going to make any noise. I heard books being knocked off back there. I was not too happy about that. So I have a few pieces of jewelry tonight. Oh, the necklace is all tangled with one of the pins. Give me a second. Oh, come on. There we go. There we go. So have now I haven't tested this one piece. I mean, it looks good, but it could be gold filled. There's no marking on it. So let me get my prices written down here. My names, I mean. Really not. Okay. Now, we're going to start off with this little guy. This is the one. I haven't tested it, but it looks really good. It's this wonderful little filigree butterfly. It is a stick pin. It has its little piece. And easy little thing, though. I mean, it's not even an inch wide. Where's a good way? There we go. There's a good spot to put it. Really cute. And with, spring is almost here. The snowdrops think it's here. And the chickadees are back. I had juncos for the winter and no chickadees. Hi, Patsy. So the chickadees came back. There were more robins today that I heard. Didn't see them, but I could hear them amongst the cacophony of all the starlings that are around in first thing in the morning. But it was nice to see the sparrows have been here all winter, but it was nice to see the chickadees come back because they don't usually disappear for the winter. This year they did. And I just had a ton of juncos. So this little butterfly stick pin is going to be $4. $4, number 29. There. So we have Val and Nora and Linda and Patsy and a few others who are hiding out. A lot of people watch. They don't always say anything in the chat. We appreciate when you do, even if it's just to say hello. Now, this is a necklace with a locket on the end. Now, the necklace is just 18 inches. An 18-inch necklace. Now, the cool part of this locket is that it has, come on, pop open. Last time I popped you open, I broke my thumbnail. So it has this opening. You see the bird there? That's actually an opening in there. So if you wanted to use this, put a piece of felt in there with a drop of your favorite perfume on it, you can then wear this and have that hold the scent. And it would probably last longer than it would being on your skin. They used to, in Victorian times, they used to have jewelry that was like that it could hold a drop of perfume in it. And, but that's, with a locket that has an open spot like that, that's something cool you can do with that, is use it more as a scent carrier. So it's an 18-inch chain. It is $4. There's not a scratch on it. I've never worn it. Birds are not my thing. But it is $4 and is number 51. $4, number 51 for the bird locket. Oh, Patsy would like the butterfly pin. Okay, let me get that out of there then. We will tuck you right here in that. Put that number up there. And Patsy wants pin. Now, I have a rhinestone pin. I don't think it's particularly old because of the way that it's made. Because you can see how they've just used lines of rhinestones and then just kind of soldered it all together. Hi, Aragorn. Wouldn't be a sale if you didn't show up. He's such a mama's boy. So this is not, it's over 1.25 inches, but it's not quite 1.5 inches in length. And then its widest part is 1.25 inches. Now, it does have, I don't know if you can see it that well. It does have some stones that are discoloring along that roof. The stones are there, but the problem is there's some discoloring that's gotten underneath them. And I don't know, when the discoloring is underneath a stone, so many of these have foil backings that I don't know the right way to clean them that's not going to destroy that foil backing on all of them. So that's why this one is going to be so inexpensive. This one is just going to be $3 for all those rhinestones, and there's no maker's mark. It's got a nice locking clasp. It's really cute, and I really like that it even has the handle, and it has 2 little rhinestones in the center, which would be where your rope would be. It's actually really nicely designed, but it does have those 3 stones that are what they call sick. And I don't know if it's because liquid got underneath them or something, but you would need to have a jeweler take a look at them. Now, they're all prong set, so it would be easy for them to just take them out and pop into some new ones. If they, well, they should have matching size because these are prong set. So they just have to take the prongs up, take it out, put a new one in. So the wishing well is $3 and is number 79. $3, number 79 for the wishing well pin. Now I've got 2 really nice pins. I did not find a maker's mark on this one. And I was really surprised because the way this is designed and made, I really, really, really thought I was going to find a maker's name, but um I even used my jeweler's glass, my jeweler's loop, and I cannot find a name on this. This is gorgeous. And I honestly don't know. I don't know that I can get it so you can see it. Those leaves have little tiny lines of veining on the leaves. Even on the back, you can see some of the lines. And the rose itself is all petals. I can't 100% tell if they're individual petals, but these little pieces are one piece. And then these bigger petals are one piece. And then inside is another set of petals, and that's another piece. So the flower itself is three separate pieces, all folded up into each other and then attached to the stem there. And it's just incredibly well made. It's beautiful. I just don't know if I didn't test it, but I didn't find any markings. If it's nothing else, it's definitely gold coated, especially those bottom leaves. They just are too perfect. But it's the details on it is amazing, and it's over 2 inches long. It's not quite 3, I don't think. Yeah, it's just a hair over 2.5 inches long. So 2.5 or 2.25. Wait a second. Yeah, it's just a shade. It's just a hair shy of being 2 3/4 inches in length. And it's a beauty. But this is, since it has no markings on it, this is $4. $4 number 10. $4 number 10. I mean, Mother's Day is coming up. You could wear it for that, but honestly, I would be wearing that just for the spring and summer. It's such a beautiful flower. And I couldn't tell you, I mean, those are definitely rose leaves, but it almost looks like a tulip. So it is $4 number 10. Now, the last pin is also not marked, but it's definitely got more parts than these others. It's a gardening, it's definitely a thing for a gardener. It is just a wee bit over 2 inches wide. And can you see? They'll stop floating around. You have the flower, big pair of clippers, and a kitty cat. And there's a pattern of to give it some dimension on the shovel. But isn't that adorable? And even the back of it has all these little swirly marks impressed on the back of the shovel. But it's such a cutie, but no, maybe under the cat? Nope, not under the cat either. But there's no markings on it anywhere. I've had it for a while, and I've decided to share the wealth. The type of clasp is it does have one of those locking little clasps there. You'll see a very slight bend to here from me having worn it on, sweatshirts and things. But the gardening pin is $5. It's $5 number 59. $5 number 59. for this really cool gardening pin. You've got your sunflower, your gardening clippers, and a kitty cat hanging off the shovel. And that is the jewelry. Since I saw you guys last, I finished the second book of that Celestial Kingdom. The first one was Daughter of the Moon Goddess. The next one is Heart of the Sun Warrior. And it's just as good as the first one. And then she has another one, which is Tales of the Celestial Kingdom, which has the epilogue in it for what happens in the first two, which is really cool because it gives the ending that really needed to like finish things off with three of the characters. You know, there's a certain level of maturity that the prince finally catches up to that was needed. So, and I can't say any more than that or I'll just ruin the whole epilogue. So I have another piece of Southwestern. Doesn't have any marks. Interesting little pontil there, though. So it has, now how do you say his name? Cocopelia? Cocopelli? I don't remember how to properly say the name, but he's frosted on the outside. So he's the same on two of the sides, and then the other sides have this little figure, well, this little design. Now, this is square, and you could use it as a candle holder, which is probably what it's meant to be. And this is 3¼ inches tall. Now, my son looked at it and went, "Is that a Scotch glass?" Because, like me, Coco Pelly. Thank you, Coco Pelly. He looked at it and wondered if it was a glass, you know, because they make these tumbler glasses for drinking scotch on the rocks, and they're about this size. So I could see him thinking that. This is the kid that when he bought his first set of dishes on his own, he bought octagon dishes. But I think, pretty sure it was meant to be a candle holder because this is not rounded off. It's just squared off. And I can feel I could feel a rough spot there. I don't feel any others, but I can feel one there. But you can just, I don't even know if I can get it to where you can see it. There's the teeniest little flea bite. I don't think I can get it to where you guys can see it. It's right there at my fingertip. And I don't think I can get it to where you guys can see it. So it's most likely have meant for to be a candle holder. But cactuses don't need, especially certain small ones, don't need a lot of space. And you could make this a neat little pot to grow a cactus in. So we have this Cocopelli. I'm going to write that down. Pelly glass. And the Cocopelli glass is $5. $5, number 35. I think that would be really cool to have a plant in it. Or maybe use it as a pen holder even. Would that work? Yeah. I mean, it's tall enough. You can have it on your desk as your pen holder. All kinds of fun uses. Now, we have Oh, let me do these before I forget. I have a little bit of ephemera. Fertility, agriculture, music, and unity. Oh, honey, fertility, that ship has sailed. I don't think that's happening at age 59. So these are some cigarette cards. This is a series from Carreras Limited from London. It is a series of Do You Know? Now, I do not have all the cards. There's supposed to be a series of 50 of them. I don't have 50. I have, what, 1, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. I have 14 of them. But if you do junk journaling, these would be kind of cool. Now, if you wanted to, you could take these and photocopy them with the backs because the back has all the info on it. So for this precious dandy with his red and white striped coat, it says, "Why Piccadilly?" To find the reason for this name, it is necessary to go back to the age of elegance, when spruce coxcombs puffed out their fine clothes with rags and bran and had looking glasses set on in their tobacco boxes. Both women and men wore the piccadelle, described as mists of white linen. So for him, it would be all that fluff around his wrists. You can kind of see it there. And it's probably hard for you to see, but he's got an awful lot of it in the collar right there. There is no collar to that coat, oh, well, not to the coat, but to his shirt. It is all just layers and layers of lace puffing out. That would be, is that before or after Pier, the Empire style? I can't remember. They don't give a date. Now that's card number 1, but they have different things. Like, why is grapefruit so called? And so you have a picture of a bunch of grapefruit on the tree. This is who decreed the length of a yard, and it's a painting because it goes from, it's the king measuring out a length. So you have that neat picture. This is why the bridge of a ship, and it's got a ship to it. What is this one? What famous school was founded by a grocer? Oh, rugby school. No, not rugby the sport. It's an actual school over there named that. Rugby football was born at that school. But it was the world of the book Tom Brown's School Days. It was founded by Lawrence Sheriff, a grocer who enjoyed patronage and personal favor of Queen Elizabeth. The school began in 1567 in Sheriff's Mansion House, and that is what it grew into. That's a cool picture. Gee, you could frame that and use it in a dollhouse as a painting. That's pretty cool. So you have that one. This one looks like a Roman soldier at the time of the Celts. Why do women wear wedding rings? Seriously? Oh, The custom of rings date back to when a woman was merely a piece of property and the ring was fastened around the neck or the body. Wow, that's just harsh. Oh, you have, this is a great picture. You have the pyramid and the Sphinx. This is a marble arch. Why sailors wear collars? What is this? What is the something fleet in foreign waters? What is the address HM fleet in foreign waters? Oh, for what would be the postal thing. So you have that one. How did the British Navy get its colors, yet it's showing a woman on a horse? You've got a Royal Standard. And then the last one is, what is the plimsoll mark, which is a mark on the side of big ships? A year. Don't have a year. Wow. But the album to put them in that you could buy only cost a penny. Considering the graphics, you see that graphic on the back? It's not going to show real clear. Looking at that graphic on the back, I would say anywhere from 1920 to sometime in the 40s. There's a definite shift in graphic design once you get to the end of World War II. And this has it's a style of lettering for the do you know part that really makes me think of it, because it's possibly mid to late 20s, just before the crash. Because it's I can't think of the name of it. Because I learned from when I used to help at a friend's vintage and antique books, is that graphic designs matter, and sometimes that's how you have to date things. He used to know all the names too of all the, because all the different fonts have a very specific name, and I can't remember the name of that one. But it's made to try to make them look dimensional, but at the same time, it's very Art Deco, the do you know part. And then it has like lines across it to make it look like almost like the sunrise lines. But yeah, none of them have a date on the card. And Carreras Limited was established in 1788, but they didn't have cigarette cards that far back. So you have 14 of them, which would be good, like I said, for junk journaling, or some of them if you do miniature work. I mean, they could be, some of them could be really nice ones for this one, for in a dollhouse, or matter of fact, the miniature show for the First State Mini Club, which is the miniaturists in Delaware, they have a competition where you do just a room. So you do a single room setting, and so, you know, sometimes they'll have stuff, and I've done it, I had years ago and had sold to them, where I've actually taken old damaged cigarette cards and I would turn them into portraits to hang on the wall. It was really surprising when I went one year and there was one of my one of my portraits that I had sold on Etsy, and it was hanging on the wall. I knew it was somebody in Delaware who had bought it because I shipped it to him, but I didn't expect to see it at the First State mini show. So there's 14 of them. They are most likely from the 20s. So, yeah, I did not research prices, can you tell? So let's see. Individually, these things are usually $1 a piece minimum, but that's if you're at a show. 14 cards, so let's say $4 for the 14 cards and number 73. I have no longer gotten to where I can find anybody. I used to be able to buy odd lot and get like an entire square priority mailbox just filled with them, and I can't find anybody that does that anymore. These are the last of the ones I had, because in going through stuff I found my box of those cards, and so I sorted everything out and I've separated a lot of them. Now there's some I'm gonna see. I have to see if they're worth putting on eBay because they're of Britain's royal family. There's some from Fritz, whatever his name was, that went off with Wallace Simpson. So there's some black and white photo ones from him. There's a few showing during the war years that show then Princess Elizabeth and her parents. And then there's a few others that are after she was married, but I don't think they're from when she was queen. I think she was still Princess Elizabeth II. Well, she wouldn't have had second at that point. So those I have to look up. Now I have this neat little carving piece. If you want to have an apple to decorate with, you can have an apple. If you want to have a mill house, see the water wheel? If you want to have a mill house carving, you just turn it around and show this side. It is a very cool carved apple. Now, what I don't know is where it was done. There's no markings on it, and I kept staring and staring at the carving, hoping I could see some kind of initials. And there's no initials anywhere on this either. But it's a really cute little piece. Definitely one that might get people to make comment. It is 2 3/4 inches tall. And I cannot imagine how they carved that without having some incredibly tiny tools, because this bottom part of the house, the foundation, is all done with teeny little lines to make teeny tiny little stones. It's impressive. As somebody who teaches wood carving and has to do it with pocket knives, that is seriously impressive. And there's even teeny tiny little lines to show all the little panes of glass for the windows. It's really, really cool piece. And that kind of carving you just don't come by often, where it's such detailed tiny stuff. But carved apple is $5, number 28. $5, number 28. Now, It's a little early for anybody Easter, but I have a cute little bunny. Look at that face. Isn't he cute? You know why he's so cute? He is a Snuggle Baby. The Snuggle Baby Sculptor Collection, copyrighted 1988 from River Shore. Has all the markings you could want on there. Whatever this little paper one was, it is missing a little bit of that. Yes, Patsy, it is here. It has some stuff of yours that I packed up and put in it. And it is, no, not that box. Because it's up on the 3rd floor, because the box I thought I was going to use turned out to be too small. The minute I put packing around the bus, it didn't want to fit. It's up on the 3rd floor on the table with the door shut, keep the cats out of that room. So it's up in the packing room right now. I had to stop and think because I had it over here and I realized I'm looking at a blank spot, and then that box is all cross stitch and needlepoint kits that I need to get photographed and listed on Etsy, because as I've been finding them, I've just been dropping them in that box. So yours is upstairs. So I do still have it. I do still have it. I'm down to 3 pages for some of you. So, and I thank you all for your patience. I've been January and February just were rotten health-wise. But things are a lot better now. And Michael, even when I was recuperating, made a point of bringing me boxes of stuff, and we separated out, because what had happened too is there were some sales where he didn't know what to do, so he just like packed everything in a box. So he had stuff that didn't sell mixed in with stuff that did sell. So we got 3 boxes of stuff like that he had done that to, sorted out, and all the stuff that had sold is now upstairs in the packing room, because now I can get up to the 3rd floor. So I do still have all the stuff. I felt bad, so I never wanted to get rid of anything on anybody. So let's see. Snuggle Bunny here. Snuggle Baby. Snuggle Baby Bunny from 1988 is, I don't know the date of Easter. Now he or she is in great shape. There's no chips. There's no loss of paint. The eyes are cold painted. The body is bisque. Now, the eyes do have some shine to them, but I think that's because it's thicker paint. But it's such a cutie. And he looks like he's sniffing at something. So if you have a flower, you could put him in front of that, or maybe he's looking up to a taller bunny. But he is, from the tip of that little tail to how far that nose sticks out, he's 4.5 inches long. And he's 3.25 inches tall. So he's so cute. But he is the Snuggle Babies bunny. It's a vintage bunny from 1988. He is $5. $5, number 48. So you could have a Snuggle Bunny, Snuggle Baby Bunny for Easter. Does anybody know when Easter is? I don't know. I've been looking at scalp stuff for so much, I haven't even looked at an actual proper calendar. That's okay, Patsy. When I have it all together, you'll get an email, and I'll give you a whole list of everything I have, what the prices were, and then I will send photos. I send photos, and there's no harm, no foul. If anybody doesn't want anything, that I had held because of all the times I got sick, that it didn't get out right away, then of that backlog, then it's my fault entirely for having, you know, for for being broken. Not broke, broken. So April 20th. Oh, good. It's not going to run into a court of honor. That was a pain in the neck the year it did that. April 20th. So, all right. I'm going to write that down. Because the calendar I bought one of these calendars. It goes like for 3 years, but it doesn't have because I got it off Temu and I absolutely love it, but it's missing certain holidays that are like really big in America. Like it didn't have Halloween in there because I guess where they don't have Halloween, but it had some, it caught some of the others. Like it has St. Patrick's Day in there, but things where the date isn't always the exact same day, those are the ones that are kind of wonky or missing entirely. So Easter I don't think was in there, and I haven't looked too hard. So let's do, I have a couple of framed, let's see, of framed counted cross stitch pieces. Sweetie, you're too big. Come here. You all right? So for once, Aragorn hasn't come over here. He's trying his darndest to lay on the edge of the bin that I keep the Christmas stuff in. And there's another bin on top of it. So there's this narrow little ledge. And he's trying very hard. He just fell off of it. And now he climbed back up and is trying to lay on it again. I think he fell asleep. That's why he fell off of it. Poor baby. So this one says, may the hinges of friendship never rust. And it's got this cool old door that's got the old cast iron hinges on it, like an old back door kind of thing. And it says welcome. And it's all nicely blocked and in there. The matting piece even has a pattern to it, little hearts. Now the back does look like there had been a drip on it, but I don't see any damage to the front. So I think that just hit the back. And you can see though where somebody at some point must have taken this out and checked the piece, but then they put it back in because you could see where the rust mark is and then see where the actual pin is. So they didn't get this square back in exactly the same. But it is a nice little piece. It is just under 9 inches one way. Yep, it's 9 by 9. So it's a 9 by 9 piece in the frame. And it is $8 and is number 14. $8, number 14. The only thing I see that's missing is it doesn't have one of those hanger pieces here. If you buy it and you want one centered on the back, I can do that. Oh my goodness, Patsy, thank you. Oh, thank you so much. Oh, we had to do something special for that. I have to go get you a cat. I have to get you a cat for that. Come here, you. here, sleepy boy. Come here. Oh, sleepy boy. It's okay. It's okay. Yeah. Oh, you're trying to sleep on that little ledge. And it's not going to work. Look. Look. Oh, what's the matter? It's okay. Aragorn. Aragorn. Yes. Where are you going? What's the matter? What? Oh, come on. Here we go. Here we go. He's really not into this tonight. What's the matter? What? It's okay. Come on. It's okay. What? Hey, Mom, I don't want to be on camera tonight. No? Okay. Go over there. Usually him or Elrond are under my feet. Yeah. What's the matter? Yes, I have a perch there for you. I've uncovered the speaker. Yeah. So is that what I have to do? Is anytime somebody gives me a super chat, I have to go find a cat and show you a cat? Was it? Oh, he hasn't he? He is such a big boy. Come here. Come here. Look. Look how big you are. Mom. He is very long. Frodo's even longer, and Frodo has very long legs. Frodo is taller than Aragorn is. He's not as heavy. He's very much built like a Siamese and very verbal like a Siamese. Aragorn here, though, is Mama's boy. He's definitely Mama's boy. He was very out of sorts today because Gimli was outside enjoying all the sunshine. Gimli was out on the picnic table out back, and this one just laid in the kitchen window where we have a tower that's even with the windowsill. And he just sat there, and every once in a while you'd hear this pitiful little just these weird little noises, and he was upset because Big Brother, who he's bonded with, he's very much a bonded pair with Gimli, but he was really upset because Gimli was out back and he's not allowed because you're a stupid boy. I love you, but you have no fear of cars, so you can't go out, and you're not microchipped. So yeah, he is so not having it. But yeah, he's not microchipped. And I have to go take the cats to, I have to take Gimli and Frodo to the vet to get scanned because we originally knew we were keeping Elrond and Gimli. I was keeping Elrond, Mike wanted to keep Gimli. So they were supposedly microchipped when they got fixed. I can find the microchip on Elrond because they're about the size of a grain of sand, and sometimes you can find them up between the shoulder blades or a little bit up the neck. I can find it on Elrond. I can't find one on Gimli. But Frodo, the other all black cat, he's got a lump up the back of his neck that's never gone away. I think that's the microchip. I think they microchipped the wrong cat. I need to get that looked at and find out what's going on there. So, because if he gets out, Frodo does get out, it's all going to have the wrong information. So that's not good. That is definitely not good. So I need to make sure that is correct. And I think they marked the wrong kitty. The tiniest one is Elrond. who's not down here tonight. I think he's upstairs with Mike. He's just April 1st, roughly we figured that's their birthday. They'll be 3 years old. And Elron still looks like he's a year old. He's still small. He looks about maybe a year and a half. Now, a cat doesn't usually get completely full grown until they're 3. So I think these guys are about done. Maybe. Yes. Do you forgive me? At least you've got your collar on. I don't know what your sister did, but her collar's missing. And Elron's broke. Don't you go ripping paper. No, no, no. So we have, oh, this one's a ribbon. Okay, so we've got another one. I really kind of like this frame. So this has got a really nice wood frame to it. It has a bear going after honey. Without you, life is unbearable. But I'm bummed. So it's 9 by 7 1/4. Now the back is also you could tell it was a somewhat amateur who did it, but they have taped all the edges. This is the actual canvas coming around the corner here, but it is nice and straight, and it does have that hanger piece I was talking about if you wanted the other one, because I do have extras of these in my toolbox because I used to do a lot of framing of stuff. So the bear cross stitch, as cute as that is, he is also $8 and is number 44. $8, number 44. And the last framed one I have is me coming up with all these numbers that are 4s. Rearrange this a little. This one is a piece of woven ribbon, and then it's calligraphy underneath. Peace to all who enter here. And man, I can tell you that is a double cut matting. That's an expensive matting. But it is a pretty little thing. And it can be hung. The frame itself has the backing so that it can either be, you can either have it as a tabletop, and if you want to put something else in it, you can have it this way or this way, and it has the hangers. It is 8 by 6 in the frame, but that was really nicely done. And it is $6 for this and is number 15. $6 for the peace to all who enter here, and it's number 15. That's all I have for framed items tonight. Tuck them back over there. Now, I do have a really cool mug, but I couldn't get the knot undone from the ribbon, well, the yarn piece, and it originally had the tag on it. It is called a cheer up cup. And you can see that this got damp, and then, of course, it ripped right off. The cheer up cup was made by Cloudless Daydreams in Brownsville, Oregon. I do not have a date. Cheerful little animal cup are the highest quality porcelain, handmade one at a time by artist D and Kathleen Swayze. Dishwasher proof, microwave safe, non-toxic, smiles guaranteed, 100%. So that's what it is. And I did find them online. They do make quite a few different ones. And they all kind of have this same little polka dot thing going on. Now this one has a bunny. Look at the little bunny with the big ears. Now, mind you, when I washed the bunny, I found out something. You want to be really careful of the points on the tips of those ears, because this little bunny is defended. He's got sharp little pointy ears. But it's so cute. It really is adorable. So it has its original tag, even though it got damp and then that popped right off on me. But this is their bunny one. I found them online. There are a couple of them of cheer up cups, different animals. And the cheer up cup with the bunny. Now, these are, I found that there are people that collect these because they're handmade. No animal is exactly the same. I did find another bunny. He doesn't quite look like this. Like his ears are very different. His face is different. His hands are the same. His front paws are the same position, but the eyes and the ears, they're all a little different. So each one is hand done. So they are all different. So this is, and I've never used this. He is $8 and he is number 11 for the cheer up cup with the gorgeous little bunny. $8, number 11. Put your little tag down in there. Yeah, now I don't know what year he's from, but he's cute. Now, I did pull this out. Those of you that saw me empty the Christmas box saw this, but I think this could be more than just Christmas. It says this bowl is hand painted. Please handle with care, not dishwasher safe. And it has a Teleflora gift sticker on the bottom. But this is really cool. And it's not particularly Christmassy, but you could, while it came with a flower arrangement, you could put, especially if it's one of those battery operated tea light candles, you could put one of them in here because it would show a lot of light, because where each candle was not frosted. So those are clear glass, and then they painted the designs over the clear glass. And even the candle tips, that's clear, but it's tinted yellow. So this really would be cool to have around. Oh no. Are you a crack? Oh. Are you a crack? I don't. Okay, so I don't feel anything. Ah. I don't. It's okay, so it's what they call a straw crack. I hate them. A straw crack is a crack that's inside the glass, but it hasn't come through on either side. That annoys me. It's only a matter of time. There is a tiny little straw crack right there. Now, I just tried running my fingernail over it. It is definitely not on the outside, and I am not feeling it at all on the inside. So it's still inside the center of the glass, but that's only this is not thick glass, so that's only a matter of time. So if anyone still would like to have it, it would be $3, since it does have that. It would just be $3, number 65, if you would like to have the candle, what do I call it? The candle tea light holder? What did I say? Number 65, $3. And don't worry, I don't blame you if none of you would want to risk that. So, I mean, when it's thick glass, that's one thing, but this is thin. That's annoying. But hey, life happens. Now, what do I have left? I have this. And the little bird of paradise with the little bluebird, which was such an annoying little beastie. I'll explain to you why. I explained in the beginning, and I'll tell you why. Because he's one of the reasons I was late. He's definitely one of the reasons I was late. So I have two Libby. Now I had just washed them, so I put paper towels in between them because I didn't want to have any issues. Piece of paper towel stuck to it. So they are marked with a Libby L on the bottom. They are a matched juice set. Judging from the looks of them, they have been through a dishwasher at some point. Now, there's not any pattern part missing, but they don't have the shine that the pattern should have. Like when you see these and they've never been used or they've really been well cared for, there's a certain shine to the design and there's no shine left. It's definitely flat. So they've probably been through a dishwasher a few times, but not enough to strip the pattern. The pattern is still there. It's just not it's a matte finish now. So they are Libby, but it is nice to have two when you have these things. I know with certain illnesses, I know with diabetes, my mother couldn't have a lot of orange juice. She could have one this size in a day. That was it. She could only have half of a banana. So, so I know that for some people, this size glass is useful. So these are Libby orange juice glasses. And they're just going to be $4 for the pair because they're not pristine. So they're $4 for the pair. I think these came from Granny's house. And it's number 27. $4 for the pair, number 27. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they came from Granny's house. And then the last item is the little Eastern Bluebird from Lefton. Now, here's why this was a problem child tonight. He is a nice vintage Lefton piece. But let me tell you, that when I rescued him from the Goodwill, it's one of the few pieces I've actually, oh, yes? What? Oh, somebody's sucking up over here. What? What do you want? Oh, really? Okay, come here. You want to come lay down now? You want mom? This is what he wants. This is what he does. You go put your head down? When he wants mom time, this is what he wants. Or he wants me to lay down on the bed. If he's having a bad day, he wants me to lay down on the bed and he'll curl up. He'll literally curl into as tight a ball as he can in my armpit with my arm wrapped around it. Oh, yes. Yes. Now we want mom time. Yeah. I doubt they can hear your purrs. Your purrs are quiet, but your brother Gimli's like a motorboat. So anyway, this little beauty, look at how beautiful the coloring is. When I saw him in the Goodwill, you couldn't even tell he was a bluebird. He had been in somebody's kitchen for years. He was covered with a layer of dust and grease. You couldn't even see where his feet were on the bottom. And as far as his back and his head, you couldn't see any blue. You could not tell he was a bluebird. So I rescued him, and he took an hour to clean up with a toothbrush. And it was so bad that using it, using a little soap and water just didn't cut it. I actually had to take the toothbrush and use straight up Palmolive straight on him twice to clean him. Now, there's a spot right in the front here where some of the green came off. Now, I did know that there is a petal missing on the flower, but also on the back, you see right across there, some of the green came off. But the color of the bird is perfect. He hasn't lost any of his coloring. I have to be so careful cleaning bisque. But he looks like a whole new bird because he looked like he had just been through the Exxon Valdez, I'm telling you. Now, he is marked on the bottom. He has the Lefton crown, says bone china. And then it has another little mark. And it's KW1637 Eastern Bluebird. So he is an older piece to have that other little mark above where it says Eastern Bluebird. He's older. I can't remember the dates, and I can't look it up right now because I have a child of mine here. But it's such a cute little piece, beautiful for spring. I mean, such a nice little thing. People don't think to decorate sometimes when it's not a holiday, but you can decorate little things like, having little birds or flower things on your bookshelves or just sitting around just because it's springtime. So he's 3.5 inches tall, and about the base is about his tail sticks out a little bit. So he's about 2.5 wide. But he is an absolute little darling. Who does not want a bluebird of happiness? And the fact that he's a Lefton is even better. But he does have that petal missing and a little bit of green there, but mostly on the back at the bottom. But I had to save this poor baby because he literally, even the base, this was all grime all around the base. So, but he's beautiful now. So to have the bluebird of happiness, he is $5 and he's number 71 for the Lefton Eastern Bluebird. $5, number 71. And that's because of that little bit of paint loss and a missing flower petal. But he's saved. He's now saved. Oof. Yes, I know. Oh, jeez. Mama's boy. Absolutely mama's boy. He'll go to sleep. He'll go to sleep like this. Oh, Val would like the bluebird. Thank you, Val. And so, oh my goodness. What? What? You gonna stare at the screen? What? I don't have anything left to sell. I have a lot that didn't sell, but what? The look I just got. What? Oh, look at you. When I first got home on Thursday, he got up into my arms. I was upstairs at Michael's desk, and he literally just clamped that arm. He had those both paws, one under my arm, one around my arm, and he was not letting go of me. He was not happy. And wait till you see what he's like when Mike and I both are gone for a week for Boy Scout summer camp. That he's like white on rice when I come back. He will follow me everywhere. He'll want to be picked up. Now I got to sneeze, but that'll last for about 3 days when we come back from camp. The biggest problem I have is that I have just a twin bed. So if he and Gimli are there, they push me out of my own bed. I'll wake up and because my foot's cold and one leg will have been shoved out, off the edge of the bed. Because you both like to sleep between my knees and between my ankles. That's a problem. You're too big for that. What are you doing? That's Mom's scarf. Don't you claw that. No. What are you doing? The floor is not lava. What are you doing? Don't you love when cats do that? They just play like the floor is lava. And they will try to pad their way through the narrowest little piece of spot. Are you going to try to go back up on top of? Well, you're going to go on a box. Well, that's okay. That's a box of books. Still trying to play the floor is lava. Oh, my silly boy. My silly, silly boy. Why don't you go up to my bed? I'm sure that's where Elrond is. He's been taken to sleeping in my room. God knows why. It's the coldest room in the house. But he's been sleeping in my room I guess because it's on a wool blanket. And he likes that. So let's try to do a recap here of what's still here. For those of you that see it on the playback, there's plenty of choices, and I have a ruler not cooperating. Up there. It's so nice to be able to be back down here working at the desk a little bit. Still got a little more to go, and but it's kind of nice. So we have the cookie plate. Comes with a cactus cookie cutter and instructions for cookies and instructions on how to take care of the plate. It is a crafted piece because that is fabric on the back, but it is sealed with paint on the back and all set up with a ribbon holding the label and the cookie cutter on. Perfect for a gift for someone. The cookie plate is $8 and is number 86. And then we have a Southwest candle. Now, it does have enchanted lights on there, but it is a pottery piece and is hand painted, has some initials there. Really cool looking. I promise you, there will be no wax. I spent so much time on that bluebird. I did not get the wax out. I want to get Ruby the cat buttons. Oh, you mean are they the buttons on the floor that say words? I want to get them so much, but they're expensive. Even on Temu, they're expensive. And I have friends that bought the ones on Temu. They have had no problems with them. They do work. Anyway, this one is you could put a candle in it, but I think this would be really cool just as its own, as a decorative piece. Or you could put a little cactus in it. So the Southwest little candle pot is $5, number 26, and I promise you that candle remains that are in there will be gone. You will not be having to get them. $5, number 26 for that. There is, I have to get the jewelry out of it. I have this stoneware bowl. Now, this is an artist piece. It is signed, but I honestly could not make out. So there's an impression here, but there's also something else here. And we just couldn't make it out. It's S, maybe an H, IRK in the rectangle, but I just could not figure out. Let's try once more. Because I think it is. I even had Mike try to look at it. Maybe it's KL? R K haha ITAT. Nope. Nothing coming up with what I think it is. Honestly, I cannot. I cannot. I couldn't ID it. I really couldn't. It's really beautifully done. It's done by hand. It's some kind of stoneware. There's a beautiful texture, which looks like it has this pattern. It just reminds me of duck cloth, the old duck cloth that you used to have in old kitchens as the hand towels or the drying towel. So it doesn't have all that fuzz. But it reminds me of that. And it's on both sides. So it's the center and the bottom is smooth, but it's all around this edge here, and then it's around the back too. But it's really beautiful colors, really nice piece, definitely a quality piece, definitely signed with two different things. So this may be the pottery company, and then this might be the actual artist. I'm not sure because I can't read it. But this stoneware bowl, I have to find its number now because everything's upside down here. Stoneware bowl is $8. It's $8, number 81. What are you doing? You trying to sneak back? And let's see. We have an 18-inch necklace that has a locket, and the locket has an opening on the front. You can open it up, but doesn't want to say it. There's a bird that's cut out, so that's open. And if you put a piece of felt inside with your favorite perfume in it, you could have this nice scented necklace to wear. So Val would like the bowl. Thank you, Val. Tuck you up there. What are you? Hey, why are you behind me? Where are you going, sir? Now is not the time to go wandering, playing, lonely goat herd here. What are you doing? You're not climbing the Alps. Goofball. He's right behind me. So the bird locket is $4, number 51. And then we have this little wishing well. What are you doing? You're not going to climb on the Rolo printer. You. Get over there. How? You're not supposed to hurt Mom. Last time you climbed on that Rolo printer, you messed up the way all the labels were in, and I had to reset the whole thing. There is a wishing well pin. It's all rhinestones. Now you can see the last one here, and then 2 on this side have gone dark. Now these are all prong set, so it would be easy for a jeweler to replace those 3. Because with them being prong set, they should be able to get them out of there. So that makes this one. And I love that it's got like the handle all the way through, and it's got 2 rhinestones where the rope should be. And it does have a little enclosing lock and clasp. So the wishing well is $3, is number 79 for that pin. Now there's a rose that's amazing. So this rose pin does not have a maker's mark on it, which to me is so surprising, because it's a fairly large piece. It's incredibly well done. There are, on these 2 leaves, there are little tiny lines for the veining, just like there are on rose leaves. And the rose itself is 3 separate sections of petals. Not only does it have the outer little edge piece, which would have been the green covering of the bud, but then it has these bigger petals here, and then inside there's yet another piece of metal that's the smaller petals. And all of that has a rivet and soldering through to the stem. So it's in really good condition. And I swear that those are, I swear that's got real gold on, at least on those leaves. But there's no mark, and I don't know what I did with the testing kit I bought, so I haven't tested it. But it is a beautiful rose. Really nice to wear for spring and summer. So the rose pin is just $4, number 10, for this great pin. $4, number 10. And then you're behind me again. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're too big. You're not going to fit through that little hole. That's Elron's little hidey hole. You're too big. Dude, you're twice his size. You're not going to fit through there. No. You're not going to fit through there. You are twice his size. No. No. I said no. Go that way. And I see Patsy would like the rose. Stick that up there. Now, the other one I have is one from my own collection of stuff, and I've decided to share the wealth. This is, oh dear Lord, where are you going? Hey, excuse me, sir. Where do you think you're going? Do not knock over a TARDIS. That is the quickest way to get on Mom's bad side. Behave. This doesn't have a maker's name on it, but it's a really cool gardener's pin. And you've got this lovely little kitty cat. You've got the pruning shears. Well, actually, I think those are clippers. And then on this end, you've got a sunflower. And the back part even has this swirly design all across the shovel. And the shovel itself has a texturing to make the blade of the shovel look interesting. But it's such a cute pin. But I'm surprised there's no maker's name at all. Couldn't find one. Oh, wait a minute. It's underneath. Is it, or is that part of the pattern? Nope, it fooled me. That's part of the pattern because I could see what looks like a CC, but I can also see up top here where that same image, CC part, is actually a part of the pattern. Just a second there. I thought I found one. But this is the gardening pin with the 3 charms is $5, number 59. $5, number 59. And then we have, where'd he go? We have the little Coco Pelli. They say it right? Yeah, Coco Pelli glass. Now, I think with that base that it was probably meant to be a candle holder, but you could put, my son asked me if it was a Scotch glass, but this is not rounded at the top. And there is a tiny little flea bite right here. And there was another one somewhere. I couldn't see it, but I could feel it right there. There's one. Now they're on the inside edge of the glass. Why are you so hell-bent for leather to get over there where you cannot fit? Now he's going to go back into here. Hey, don't worry. I'm not going to pull the tail. I just touch the tail. Here, I'll give you scratches while I talk about this. So it's got this neat little design on both sides. There it is. And then it's got him on both sides. So you could use this for a candle holder, a little tea light holder. I think this would make a cool planter. If you had a little cactus in it, I think that'd be really cool. So that is $5, number 35 for that piece. Behave yourself. Sit down. Sit. Sit. Good boy. Good boy. We're working on that again. They sometimes get it. It's kind of like they sit when they feel like sitting. You can train a cat, but it's darn hard. Takes a lot of repetition. So there are 14 of these cigarette cards from Carreras. They are a Do You Know, a series of 50, but I only have 14 of them. Good for junk journaling, or making, some of these would be good for framing and making miniature artwork for in a dollhouse or a miniature display. So there's no date actually on them, but I estimate from the ink colors and the graphics on the back that they're probably somewhere between 1920 and I would say early 1940s, because by the time World War II ended, graphic styles had drastically changed. Where are they? So this is $4 for these. $4, number 73. $4, number 73. I've been to paper and ephemera shows, and when they sell loose ones like these, if you're lucky, you can find them for 10. You can find them for $1 each, but most of the time they just have full sets. I had a whole, I don't know where I can buy seconds anymore. I used to get seconds from somebody that had a brick and mortar shop in Delaware, but anymore you can't find anybody that's got them like that, because I could use the ones that were damaged for artwork for dollhouses, and I used to make little tiny carved little frames. And so we have a carved apple, which has this incredible carving of a water wheel of a mill, and even the bottom here has teeny tiny lines because this foundation is all stone. There's even little lines that show the panes of glass in the window. It's really, really cool little carved apple. And if you want to just show it as the apple side, it's beautifully done. I don't know what wood this is. It's not oak. It's way too lightweight, but it is a nice piece. And the carved apple is $5, number 28. Then we have the Snuggle Babies bunny. Do I have the right number here? Yep. He is marked on the bottom, Snuggle Babies. He is from 1988, River Shore. Has the copyright. The Snuggle Babies Sculpture Collection. He had part of a paper sticker right there, but it's missing part of it. So I can't quite, you're not coming behind me again. No. So I can't see it. And that was probably where it was made, that little paper sticker. But he's such a little cutie looking up at something. Great for Easter coming or just to have for spring. He is $5, number 48. Will you stop? You're being annoying. Now, then we have, I have to reach these. I have to go out of frame here to reach these. So we have, May the Hinges of Friendship Never Rust, framed counted cross stitch. Give me a second and I'll tell you the price, because I put these others on top of my book. So that was $8, number 14. We have this cross stitch bear. Without you, life is unbearable. That is also $8 and is number 44. Oh, the necklace? Yeah, it's probably meant to be a dove. And 1, 10, got those. I should underline your names because on a long list sometimes it's hard to see. And then we have this. This is a piece of tapestry ribbon. And then it has calligraphy underneath. Peace to all who enter here. And it has, now I know matting is expensive. So when you get something double matted, that's even more expensive. But this has a double mat. That's why it has a darker line there. And this is, I lost my spot. This is $6. $6, number 15. Back in there. And the Cheer Up cup, which has this great little bunny. All the Cheer Up cups have these polka dots, and then they have a handcrafted little item, little animal down inside. Now this one has very pointy ears and a cute little face. Those eyes though remind me of Wallace and Gromit. It does have its cheer up tag, which came off the little piece of yarn. Now these are handcrafted animals inside by Dee and Kathleen Swayze of Cloudless Daydreams, Brownsville, Oregon. But there's no date on these. But it is a cute little thing. And the cheer up cup is $8, number 11. We have, well, I'm not going to worry about showing the candle tea light since that's got that big bowl has that straw crack in it. We have the Libby juice, matching juice cups, glasses from Libby. They are a matte finish now, though all the details, kind of hard to see. Maybe if I do this. So you can see all the lines of all the oranges. They're all still there. The lines in the leaves. The only thing wrong with it is that this is now a matte finish. The images are still great, but that first nice shine that should be there, that's the part that's missing. So I think they've been put through a dishwasher twice. So for the pair, it's just $4 for these, and they're number 27. So that gets us through everything. So for those of you who like to go to the end and watch playback, that's the quick run through. And I hope you all enjoyed that. So, I mean, let's see, 9, 10, 11. We got through everything in pretty short order. That's okay. We didn't have a huge amount of people tonight. That's my own doing for not having a thumbnail or having a video up beforehand, but I'm okay with that. It was my not doing something that had us have fewer viewers. That's okay, because sometimes I just got to roll with what I got and what I can do, and that's okay. And I thank you all very much for coming. Now, if you want to hang around for a little bit and have a chat, we can do that. Ask me any questions you want, because I was expecting to not be done before midnight. 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. That's not bad. I found 19 things for tonight. That's not too bad at all. More than I thought I was going to have. I thought I was only going to have 15. But it's always fun to find a little extra. And those juice glasses, I'm really pretty sure those came from Granny's house. I was putzing around on a shelf that I normally can't get to, but I don't have the step stool is upstairs, and I can't. It's big old heavy 1940s all metal step stool, and I can't be carrying that down the steps. So I brought down just this one old little stool, and I was poking around on the second shelf up in the kitchen hutch, and I found those juice glasses way in the back, and I'm like, oh, I remember. Mom would use these when she could be allowed to have orange juice. And I'm pretty sure they came from Granny's house. So I was like, well, I'll share the wealth and see if anybody would like to have them. Because they're still quite serviceable. And they are still nice that they still have all of the pattern there. So, like I said, we never know where I'm finding stuff. Now, some of this Southwest stuff is stuff friends had given me. And other than the gardening pin, the rest of this jewelry I had bought from another reseller, a jar, because I wanted the vintage Jiffy jar. And the jar had this awesome pirate bracelet in it and a fairy bracelet. Well, now that I've seen the bracelets, the pirate one is a Disney bracelet, and it has the skull and crossbones, and it has a sword, and it has 2 sparrows. So it's for Captain Jack Sparrow. So it's for Pirates of the Caribbean. So I was so happy with that. I love that. Now the fairy one, most of them are Tinkerbell, but there's 2 on there that aren't. So so it's cute little fairy bracelet, and I like fairies. So I thought those 2 were worth. I think I paid. I think I paid $8 for the jar. It's a little short jar like this, and mostly because I just wanted that pirate and the fairy bracelet. But so that gives me more jewelry too. Because when Lisa from Flippin' Crazy does a jewelry sale, she could go on for 3-4 hours just doing jewelry, especially if she's doing one right from the box. Because sometimes she, at Flippin' Crazy, she'll have bought a box of just jewelry that's just a random lot. And she's found some cool stuff when she's done that. But you get it for incredibly cheap prices. But she also does some where she's got just the vintage stuff and does a curated sale. And she knows her jewelry. Man, does she know her jewelry. I've had to ask her a couple times for help with things sometimes. So she and I have been talking about it for a year now, about getting together and doing a jewelry sale, either on my channel or on hers. But I don't have the same setup where I could have the camera looking down, which works so much better for jewelry. But now I have an arm that I have to check and see. I might be able to do that now. I might be able to swivel it down so it can look straight down. So that may soon be in the works. She's just lost another one of her kitty cats. Poor dear, she's having a rough time with her kitties. And like me, she also takes care of some feral ones and helps do TNRs on because where she's at, there had been an entire colony of cats. I just have a random handful. What the heck? Where are you? What are you doing back there? And for the love of the Lord, please do not knock my fairy statue over. I saw it wobble. Don't break it. I have a cement fairy statue in the house because I've never wanted to put it outside. But that windowsill is really, really deep. But I think he just tried to climb behind it. I hear you. I don't see you. Oh my goodness, life with cats. I've forgotten how much trouble young cats can be. But then when we had the doctor, her brothers got adopted out, and I never caught Rory. Rory is the grandmother to the gang of 5. So I see ears. Why are you behind my fairy? Stop rubbing your head against the fairy wings. But yeah, that fairy's never actually seen the yard. It stands about 20 inches tall. It's a big, heavy thing. But that windowsill is 12 inches deep, so it seemed a safe place. And now I have these rugrats. Nothing's safe. They have bent and pulled down the curtains off of both windows here because of them climbing them. And it is. And having cats under the age of 5 is like having toddlers around. You think they'd calm down. Doctor was only this way the first year, and then she calmed down, but she was by herself and raised with a dog. These guys are still chasing each other up and down the stairs, and they're still delinquents. Delinquent toddlers. But they certainly are keeping me and Michael entertained, and Gary. For all his grumping, he really does like Frodo. And when he gets particularly somewhat lonely, you'll hear him like coaxing Frodo into his room. I kind of hate that because then Frodo comes out of there smelling like cigarettes. But, you know, it's nice for him to have one of the cats that likes him because a lot of the others don't. Frodo does like Gary, and Frodo talks to Gary a lot, more than he does anybody else. So it's he loves it that he has one that likes him, but then let them get in his way, and then all of a sudden they're all stupid cats. You wanted all of them. I'm like, no, I didn't. No, I didn't. But 8 adoptions fell through. We tried to get when we realized that Aragorn was bonded with Gimli, then we're like, well, we can't separate them. It's not healthy for either one of them. So then it was 3 cats we were going to keep. And then he wanted to keep Frodo, but Frodo, we had a home for. Frodo's all black, and the grandmother had a hiss fit. So the cat came back, and Arwen had 5 different people. And oh, she's so cute. She's adorable. Yes, I want her. Yes, I want her. Oh, I talked to the husband, or I talked to the wife, or I talked to the boyfriend. No cats. Or they ghosted me. So she had 5 of those 8 were for her. And they all fell through. And the other 3 were for Frodo, and they all fell through. And that last one, though, was heartbreaking because he'd already been at their house and was settling in. And then Grandma came to stay for the weekend and freaked. So that one, after that, we were like, you know what? We're not doing this. At least they gave him back and didn't just take him to the pound or to the SPCA. Because I said if there's any problems, you could give him back. So they did. And by then we were hitting real close to the 1-year mark. So we made the decision to just keep them all at that point. Oh, yeah, the bonded pair. The funny part is about Gimli and Aragorn is that Gimli is very much the brave one. He is the epitome of a big brother. If any of them get too rough with Arwen or Elrond because they're smaller, Gimli will get in the middle of it and stop it. Aragorn plays too rough and has been known to bite deep enough to break skin. He's too rough and tumble with the 2 smaller cats. And if Frodo gets too rough, he learned real quick too. Big brother will come land on you and stop it. And Gimli's big and muscle and heavy. And he definitely does not. Because, it's just like little kids. When, they're poking at each other and and then all of a sudden the tone changes and, one of them actually got hurt. Same way with cats. The tone will change. And then, one of them's hurting the other. And he'll be like a shot and go find them and break it up. So he has none of that. But then he's the brave one. But then you have Aragorn, who I love him to pieces, but he's clueless. He's got some smoothness to that brain. He plays too rough. He's why the doctor stayed outside most of the winter, because she doesn't want to come back into the house. She's 17 years old. She should not be out in the cold weather. She won't come in. She's terrified of him because he pounced on her and she's got arthritis in her back. Though she seems to be moving a lot better being outside than she did when she was in the house. I don't understand that. Maybe because she's getting more exercise now. I don't know. But he played too rough with her, and now she's afraid of all of them. Doesn't want any parts, any of them. Doesn't want to come back into the house, except when I deliberately would grab her when it was going to be below 25 degrees at night. So she's just been persnickety little sucker. and she rules that kitchen porch. Percy found out. Percy fights. He's an orange cat that shows up and he fights the other males. He's a pain in the neck. What are you trying to do? Hey, what are you doing? What are you doing? Get out of that box. Get out of that box. I'm going to make you get out of that box. Get out of the box. Give it to me. Give me the box. Get your big butt off of my tree. So there's a shoebox down there. He's trying to lay down in it. He's laying on this. You cannot, you squished it. You squished it a little bit. This is one of my few old ones. You cannot squish my tree. I only just found the tree. So I have this. And I have this hiding in here. And I had forgotten where I put them. So Michael didn't get this for Christmas because he loves dragonware. He absolutely loves this stuff. And so I had found that and then didn't get to give it to him because I didn't know where I had put it. Well, I had put them in the box here and put them underneath the desk so I would know where they were. I didn't know where they were. Couldn't find it. He's trying to sit on it. At least he's not trying to eat the tree. What are you trying to do? Don't you eat that. Don't. You'll get zapped. I know you like to chew on your dad's phone charger cord for some stupid reason. Hey, get away from the cords. Hey, no cords. Come away from that. That gotcha. Air can. What? Yes, you heard it. You were doing something you shouldn't be. Now he's just staring at me. He's getting a bad habit because he likes to chew on Michael's, and we constantly, I mean, from day one, we're hollering at him. One of these times he's going to chew on an electrical wire and get his butt zapped. And that's what he's sniffing at. He's sniffing at the power cord for the laptop. And then I saw it move and I can't see his head and I'm afraid he's biting it. So that's why I have this down here. We've taught him that if we're working at, either one of us is working at Mike's desk and they always want to try to get on the desk and we say no desk, you know, we're working, no desk. And so now we've done it enough that we don't have to reach for the duster can, the air can. We could just say working, no desk. And so they'll sit. Now, mind you, Mike's desk is here, and then there's the end of a bureau about 2 feet over at the end of the bed. It's one of these low, long, modern things. And it's got a lot of camping gear and scout paperwork and stuff in it. But they'll sit on the end of that and just stare at you. So you're doing your work, and over here to the side, there's little eyes staring at you. Now, why are you clawing this cheap old carpet? Because you can. I don't know. And if they really don't listen, then you just take this and you sit it on the end of the desk, and they will not come over. They won't come anywhere near you. They will stay away. I want to actually let me put these guys back in my box over here. And that way, there we go. Shouldn't be any issues with juvenile delinquents knocking anything over in the night. I get down every morning and they'll be, usually the pillows are knocked off the chair. But when I came down to try to do the sale, I was afraid I wouldn't have enough light because they knocked over the desk lamp and I got it back up there, but it's not lighting me so much as lighting straight down. And I can't quite, I have to get Mike to reach it because once it's back up there, I can't reach it to straighten the neck out of it. So that's why you're seeing a lot of bright light from this side, but hardly any light from this side. It's because I don't have the lights arranged right. But hey, you know what? We had a sale. We had a night to say hi to each other. That's a good thing. Don't always get that to happen. So I'm glad that you guys could make it. And I didn't see any questions come up in the chat that you guys wanted to hear about. So I may call it a night now. Like I said, I was usually expecting to stay on till midnight, but I'm liking that. The lipstick still stayed. Okay, the reason I'm laughing is that this is something new I've never had before. Oh, now where did I put it? V Cosmetic. I had gotten this ages ago in one of those. Oh, the color is called Faith, and it was in. I forget what it was called. It was one of those subscription services where every month you got little small things of lipstick, and this one is really nice because it stays. You know, I've been talking for over an hour and the lipstick's still there. That doesn't usually happen. And I've got this one, which is L'Oreal, and this stuff is gone. If you do a lot of talking, this stuff's gone within an hour. This stuff is still there. I like that. I may have to look them up. I have decided, sliding off the seat again. It's so nice to be able to sit at my desk and not have my knees hurt. I've kind of decided that that's one of the things I need to do is to put my work face on. I've spent so many decades where, you know, you go into work, because I have one eyebrow that's platinum blonde, stop eating Gribbies. No. Told you. He found a Gribbie and he's chewing it up. So I've always had to put makeup on, also because I'm very, very fair skinned. So I put a little blush on, and I've always done my eyes because my eyelashes are non-existent. They are really, really pale auburn, barely, just like the eyebrows. And most of this eyebrow is now gone platinum blonde. So in bright light, it just vanishes. So Michael was reading a book about how, you know, even if you work from home, you really need to, because he does a lot of work from home now. And he said, you really have to plan your day as if you were going out. That's the way to be more productive. So that may mean that you get out of your pajamas, you put your work clothes on. If you normally go to work and you're in dress pants and a button-down shirt, then that's what you do. If work usually means you wear a tie, well, then that's what you do. If for women, if that means you got to put makeup on, that's what you do. So that you get in the right mindset. And we only talked about it before I left for my friend's mini farm. And so I've been trying to do it, but I've only had 2 days to do it. And it does for now, it certainly helps when I've got a live sale. But it's something I'm going to have to try to get into doing. I do find I definitely have more focus on work because this is work to some extent. It's fun work and it's made new friends, but it's still work and it does help focus me more. Definitely, probably undiagnosed ADD. We all know that. Anybody that's watched me for a while knows that. But if anything that can help me focus more, I'm going to try. So I'm going to be going through some of this makeup that I've got and actually use it. But it's nice to find a lipstick that doesn't disappear in 1 hour. I may have to look that one up and find other colors. Because I'm out of pink. I don't have anything that's a pink lipstick anymore. So I think I have a red. And I have a kind of peachy one. I have that one. And then I have whatever this is. But this is another. This is more brownish red. Looks almost fuchsia on my phone. And that's it. I don't tend to have a lot of lipsticks. And then, they're so expensive. When they're gone, they're gone. But I think I've got 4 right now. None of them pink. So spring, it's a nice light color to have, pink. What are you doing? Yeah, I'm looking at you. Get away from that power cord. That's it. Turn around and face me, you little dweeb. Oh my goodness. So Patsy, thank you so much if you're still here. Thank you so much for the super chat. Thank you. That was so nice of you. That is what that little $sign is. It says show your support for this overstuffed, and there's super stickers, super chat. I do have memberships. I made a video for you guys, but I don't think it didn't want to upload. There was something wrong with the files, so I have to make a new video for those that are members. And how many thumbs up do I have? Get that to refresh. Yay, 14 thumbs up. Thank you. Thank you all for that. The algorithm is a little bit of it is based on the thumbs up. The thumbs up algorithm is more for your end of the algorithm. They'll use that to look at what videos you like to watch, and they use that for you. For a channel's perspective, they look at how many people have watched, how long they've watched, do they watch at least 30 seconds of commercials, because that's how we get paid. Nobody's getting rich when what they pay you. But they also like to see an active chat. I found out that matters a lot for the channel side, whether they will promote it or not. Is how many people watch replays, and how interactive is the chat. Oh, there's Nora. She's got the little owl emojis. As a member, you got little owls. The more members I get, the more emojis I'll be allowed to create. So I didn't get it, but I have looked at the local auction house at Briggs Auction. There is a string art owl, and I'm very tempted to bid on it to see if I could get it for a cheap enough price, but I'll bet you I won't. definitely cool mid-century modern string art, in beautiful condition, but it's an owl. And I was very tempted to go after that and see about getting it. Um, for you guys, my I have to look it up. I think my channel anniversary is the end of March. I think like maybe the 20th, 21st of March is the anniversary for my channel. So maybe we'll have something special for that. I have to find out the exact date and see what we come up with. Every time I've wanted to have something special, then something has happened in the last since 2021. So I have to be mindful of April. April is when I've been hurting myself. Don't want to keep doing that. And that's just a no. Don't want to keep doing that nonsense. Let's see if it shows. I have 500 videos now? Really? 1,000.2 subscribers. 500 videos. Seriously. Okay, let's see. If I go into the About section, there's my little bio. There's my snail mail address. There's the links for the Buy Me a Tea, the 2 Amazon wish lists, the one for the cats and the one for this overstuffed house, the eBay store, the Etsy store, email address, subscribers, 500 videos, 125,000 views. Join May 28th, 2020. So May 28th is the day of the channel anniversary. So I'll have to check and see what day of the week that is and see if we can do something special that night. I'll have to take some time and plan it on out. Oh. I hope that's not trivia night. Mike has roped me into going to a trivia night for it's a fundraiser for one of the scout troops that he covers in the area he works for. And they're trying something new. It's the first one they're ever having. They've had a very hard time raising funds. So, it's a Wednesday. Oh. Okay, so then it won't be trivia night because trivia is on a Friday or a Saturday night at the end of the month. If it's a Wednesday, then that means it's Scout night. So I'll have to arrange it to be after Scouts. Or we do it that Thursday. We do it the day after and do it on Thursday. And I'll try to figure out something special. Because I know I had stuff, like I specifically had gotten stuff that was owl related, little stuff to be giveaways. And didn't get to use them. Because then when I wanted to, I couldn't find the bag of it. The bag of it is now sitting upstairs in my room. So I'll take a look. And then maybe since it's on a Wednesday, maybe we'll do it that Thursday, which is the regular night anyway for a live chat or sometimes a sale. And we'll have a party. And we'll see if I can get Her Majesty to show up. We haven't seen Her Majesty for a long while. She probably just, they're remodeling Windsor Castle, or not Windsor, they're remodeling Buckingham Palace. So maybe she's off gallivanting around. Oh, that's right. You wanted to know from David's Teas what ones I will email. I will mark that down right now. And I will do that when after I sign off. I'll take care of that right now, so I don't forget. Because that's probably the smartest way to do it. I did find that I still kept the remember I said there was one they did that was a chocolate tea? They had a chocolate Earl Grey that you had given me a long while ago, and I had loved it so much I actually kept the empty pouch in the little drawer thing I have. There was one drawer for on the refrigerator door that just for the size stuff we have just wasn't gonna fit to be on the door. So I have it filled with certain things for tea, and I have the label for the lemongrass tea that I liked so much in there, and then I had that one in there because I'm still looking for a good lemongrass, not glass, tea, and that one because I'm trying to find them both again. They're really, really good. So I'll do that after I sign off. It is 9 minutes to midnight. So I thank you all for. He's coming back. Come here. Come here, baby. Oh, come on. What are you doing? He's grabbing at the carpet. Come on. You can have some mom time. Okay? Yeah, look at you. This is what you want. You want the rubbing in between the shoulder blades. That's his favorite spot. Oh, yeah. Look at that. So I'm going to go. I'm going to give him some cuddles. Nora, I will email you. I'll look up their website and I'll email you about those teas. And I will see you guys on Thursday night at 10 p.m. And if you want to, I don't believe this week would be we've had the sale, so it would be a chat. And if you want a sale, Sugar Britches, sweet ass stuff. She also has sales on Thursday nights, and they usually start at 8 or 8:30. But you could check out her channel. She's usually on before me. And man, I'm so jealous of where she's at because she finds the most amazing stuff. And I'm in too urban and built up an area. I can't find those kind of deals. I need to be out of the Eastern Seaboard built up areas to find the kind of deals she does, because she finds some amazing stuff and can get way more stuff and cool stuff than I am finding. Though I do like to shop occasionally and find stuff. Because I know there's certain things you guys are looking for. So I have my little list. So I will remember to post a thumbnail for Thursday. And we will have a chat night then. And I hope you all enjoyed this. And if you see anything from this sale that you are interested in, just put it in the comments of the video after the playback or email me. The email is right up there and you can find out if I still have it. Usually because I've been ill, I have stuff from December's sales and the one in January and now this one that I still have. I usually hang on to it usually for about a month, sometimes a month and a half after the sale. And if it's been through 2 sales, then it's gone. That was our rule of thumb when we used to do flea markets, my mom and I. If it's been through 2 sales, out. Then it's gone. So that's pretty much the rule of thumb here as well for live sales. So you have a chance if you see something from a previous sale, you have a chance that it might be here. So you can just shoot me an email and ask. The worst that'll happen is I say, nope, that's already gone. But I know the stuff from December and January, and now this one is all still here. So with that said, I bid you all good night. Have a wonderful week. And hopefully we all have nice, calm weather for a week. Wouldn't that be lovely? Especially with spring now coming. And my snowdrops are up. I have daffodils that are just starting to pop up. So can't wait for them to come up because I bought an odd lot from somewhere. I don't know if it was Michigan Bulb Company or Holland Bulb Company, but it was just this odd lot of daffodils. So I have some really odd shape varieties. And I find it a lot of fun whenever they come up because they're just quirky and I like quirky. So have a good night, everybody. Stay safe, stay dry, stay hydrated, and I'll see you guys on Thursday night. Goodbye.